am Doomsvince. This is day 95 of Spawn Year.
I use the word likable frequently in these reviews, which is perhaps misleading. The protagonist in a story doesn't have to be someone I'd invite over for a slice of pie, but they do need to be sympathetic, which only means that I actually care about what happens to them. If a protagonist is rude or selfish or indifferent or mean-spirited or non-productive or a total sadist, that doesn't mean they can't be made sympathetic by an author, and fiction would be limited and dull if we could only be made to care about perfect human beings who never make a mistake. But when you write about, say, a sociopath, the deck is certainly stacked against you, and you've got to work a lot harder to make me care about what happens to that person for two reasons. A, I'm naturally predisposed to not like a sociopath, and B, to really invest in a protagonist, she has to come alive for me. I have to be convinced by the author that she's behaving like a real person with all her background and characteristics might. So when I complain that a character is unlikable, it's because I'm not convinced by the work why they are that way. I'm not invested, and thus, I don't care. I've had that problem with Spawn much of the time, and I've got it in spades with Jessica Priest. This is the end of this arc, and as predicted, McElroy really does try to paint Jessica as the hero of this story. In the slave mine, she saves a girl who is kind to her from a rock slide, to show that she has some compassion, but only to those who show her some. Westerland murders the girl. I guess he doesn't want his slaves making friends. She talks about how life isn't fair, and she's able to justify every kill she makes because it's revealed in a flashback when she's on a murderous rampage at 14, she sees herself as on a mission to, quote, take out all the a-holes in the world before they wreck the future of humanity. So this confirms what I speculated about yesterday. She thinks a lot of people deserve to die, and therefore it's okay to her that she derives so much satisfaction from it. The trouble I have is how we were introduced to her, cheerfully and gruesomely murdering her parents in a house fire, as far as I can tell, for no good reason. We need to know more about how she got this way to really buy it. Otherwise, it's simply an excuse to show a whole lot of panels of a cackling woman butchering people. I do appreciate McElroy trying to give us something this issue, trying to make her more than just an irrational nutcase. But as I said, with such an extreme personality, especially as the point of view character, he should be concentrating most of his energy into fleshing her out and convincing us this is a real person. So Jessica tries to get her vengeance on Westerland for her dead friend when he gets curious about her and stupidly takes her to his mansion, where she's afforded the chance to attack Westerland when the twins' monsters just happen to show up at that very moment looking for the Heat 16. They kill Westerland before she can, ripping out his whole spinal column, which I guess is supposed to symbolize that he doesn't have a spine because he makes everybody else do his dirty work for him, but it's probably more because that's a gross, edgy thing that'll make 13-year-old boys say, "Whoa, cool!" Then she beats up the monsters, the slaves paint her face up and call her a deity, and she goes back to fillet the mad scientist twins and finally complete her mission for Wynn. And with the twins, there's a little incest sprinkled in for good measure. Why be effectively disturbing when you can just be disturbing? Hey Jessica, you just got the Heat 16 and inadvertently saved the world. What are you gonna do now? Well, Captain Logan, I'm going to Disney World. No, really, that's how this ends. She takes her fake family and they go to Disney World. This probably goes without saying, but Jessica Priest isn't a hero. She was hired by Wynn to do a dirty job, and the two people he wanted dead just happened to be plotting genocide. How lucky can you get? He didn't know they were doing that. That's not why Wynn sent her there. He just wanted the Heat 16. That would be like if someone decided to assassinate a president because they didn't like his policies, and after he succeeded, we found out the president was secretly plotting a terrorist attack that would have killed 1,000 people. And the assassin's like, see, I'm a hero. Jessica might be able to justify her twisted logic sometimes, but she's working for the most corrupt man on the planet, who we know from other stories has killed plenty of innocent people. Surely then, so has she. And so there's not even a misguided sense of justice here, just senseless killing. She just got lucky that this time she killed bad guys, and at the end, she delivers the Heat 16 to Jason Wynn, because those are much safer hands than the ones they were in before. After everything she's been through, Jessica Priest is exactly the same at the end as she was at the beginning. She gets nothing out of this experience, and frankly, neither do I. Except, I guess, one more day I don't get buried alive. Signed, Captain Logan.